Steph from Happy Place to Grow. I'm here at school and it is week 4 completed. It's a Friday and I'm heading out in just a few minutes. I wanted to stop in, check in with you. Hopefully your holiday weekend was awesome and you had a good Labor Day rest. I did. And last week we talked about prepping and we talked about planning. And of course, I did that before I headed to the beach for my Labor Day holiday. And you know what? When I came back on Tuesday, I was ready to go. I had all my plans ready. I had my digital slides prepped and I had my materials organized. Hey, I wanted to mention one more thing. When you are getting your plans laid out and you're getting your materials, don't forget to keep things organized. And I have been working on this. I did this last year. I created these tubs because I had to keep lots of things organized because I had 2 groups. I had Group A and Group B. So I created these tubs and I'm using them again this year. So I've got them labeled, and what I do is, and this is something you can do too, you want your materials to be a grab and go, easy to get to. And even if you're not there, for instance, if you have to call in sick, someone knows right where your materials are. Your TA can find them, or you can say, hey, go look on the shelf, the brown shelf in front of my room. That's where I keep all my lesson plans. That's where I keep all my materials. And what I did was I went ahead and labeled my folders with the days of the week. And then I'm just popping in my materials and I have those in the folders so I can just pull them out. And if I need to rearrange things because for whatever reason we don't get to that, then I've got that covered. I can just go to the next day. So I'm working on this now. I've got my social studies ready to go. I've got things organized. So when I first came back, I did have my tubs. I had folders, but I didn't have them labeled. So now I'm starting to get into my regular schedule, and this is really helpful. This week, I had everything ready to go. As I said before I left, last week, I got all of my social studies prepped, all of my read aloud materials ready to go, my math materials, and it's all located on one shelf. I have my phonics materials on one shelf. I have my social studies on another, my math on another, but it's all located in one area. That helps me to grab and go, and it helps also, again, if I'm out, then I can just direct somebody right to the front of my room. Now, we've been talking about, the teacher is the difference. I'm still thinking about my book, The First Days of School. And I found this really great quote I wanted to share with you. It says, school, it is a powerful place. Kids study, work, and produce just like adults. Wow, when you think about school that way, it really is an awesome place, but it also makes us feel that awesome responsibility to make sure that we have all of our materials ready, our plans ready. We have those lessons geared and ready to go because students need to work and produce just like adults. We don't have any time to waste in our instructional day. So that is why, for sure, we're making those lesson plans. Don't forget, have your expectations, plan and have your backup plan, and also organize your materials. Now, before we close up this little review and check-in, I wanted to let you know also that when you're thinking about planning, it's really important to know where your students are. You need to know what their abilities and their skills are, or if they're lacking anything. So, as you're planning, also know that assessment is going to drive your instruction. So as you're making those plans, I know we're thinking about curriculum Our district gives us lesson plans and guidebooks, and we have our programs. The state also requires us to do certain programs and assessments. That's a given. You have to do that. And that's going to give you a lot of information, a lot of data, so you can make those special plans for your whole groups and your small groups. Because remember, you can't really start planning for small group instruction until you know where each student is. You know their skills, their strengths, their weaknesses, so you can target and help them to grow. Also, you might want to think about when you're planning, not only all of your assessments that you're going to be giving, and then that's going to drive where you pull your materials from to work with each student. But also, I love monthly themes. So if it's September, I'm thinking about apple activities. October is Halloween and fall. So that always is a help to target what you want to teach your students or what you want to work with. Because, if you think about planning, it is a huge, huge, huge thing. I mean, there's math. If you're an elementary school teacher, like a primary grade, you've got math, you've got social studies, you've got science, you've got health, you've got reading, you've got small group, you've got whole group, you've got writing. So thinking about how you're going to narrow down your instructional focus. Your district's going to give you help. They're going to give you guides. The state's going to require some things. And of course, each month can be a help because whatever's going on in that month, you can pull fun activities from the internet to help you. Also, you're going to want to watch your students as you are working through your instructional day. You might want to have a little handy dandy notepad. I have a check sheet. I have some scrap paper. And as my students are working through activities that I've planned, I'm making notes. I'm writing down what they're working on, especially if I see something, a really strong skill that they're able to do. I'm noting that. And if there's a weakness, something that that kind of stands out to me, I'm writing that down also. I have a little spirally notepad, and as I'm working with my students, I am taking notes. I am just observing and taking notes. So of course you're going to do those official assessments, but you're also going to do your own teacher observations. All of these things are going to help you target and plan. So as you're making your plans, you're going to refine your plans after you collect information and data on each of your students. That's going to help you be able to form your small groups, your large group instruction. Maybe you're going to have to work on a skill for more than just 1 or 2 days. You might have to do it for a week, or you might have to work on it for a couple days and then pull a small group. You're not going to really know what you need to do with your students unless you figure that out through assessment given by the state requirements, your district requirements, and then your own observations. As you're doing these assessments and you're watching your students, take those notes so that you've got that information, because as the day goes on, you're going to forget. So write things down that you see happening in the day. Just have a little notepad to the side and write it down. And in these ways, you can really not only plan instruction, but you can target what you're going to be teaching your students. All right, well, I'm going to head out. It's a Friday, and I am going shopping, and I am going to enjoy my weekend. I've already made my plans for next week, and when I'm at home this weekend, I'm just going to type them up, and I'm going to organize things. I've got all my materials ready to go because yesterday I just kind of planned out my week, pulled those materials, got them prepped. I'm just going to type out my official plans for me so that I've got them ready on Monday. All right. As always, until our next time together, have a good one.